Through all of Mongoose today, but there's still a lot of material to cover. I hated to spin my wheels on that one error. I finally found something right here. I think we can just take this out. I pasted that in a little bit earlier, and I made reference then that I didn't think this was a spread operator. I'm pretty sure I fixed the patch above it. Not fixed, but I did what they told us to. I was adding that, but it's a cascading style. I think the function near the bottom is what it recognizes. So after putting in a user find here, we added that username email. I think is what they told us to do, and then I turned all this here and the dot dots. It looked like that, but worse. The comment after it wasn't even there, or the else, none of that was there. It was all dotted out. So it was almost like that. That's exactly what it was. So it's not a spread operator. It's an actual ellipsis. It's saying there's more in here, and I ended up copying that in. That's probably why none of this was working. So that's still in 5. So let's save that. And I was trying to look at 6, but I think this is still 5. This is 5 off a different one. Let's close that without it changes. And this is 5 too. It's fine. Let's get this open so we can see what files we got. 5 and 6. Okay, we'll stay with 6. We don't need 6 yet. That was just kind of one of the things that I wanted to compare. I wanted to get on the right track again. So let's go back over to 5. We got all these open. One connection. Chapter 5. Let's try it here. So that's where I got the error last time. It said, right here. It said users server controller JavaScript line 39. That was one of the clues that got me to find what was wrong. So now let's see what we get. Server running. So we didn't get that last time. We got a little bit further along. Deprecation warning. Open is deprecated in Mongoose 4.11. Use open URI instead, or set the use Mongo client option if using Connect C, or set the use Mongo client. So if we're trying to install Mongo, that sounds like our better option. Let's see. Well, node 4628 deprecation warning. Open is deprecated in Mongoose. Use open URI instead, or set Mongo. Use Mongo client option if using Connect, or create connection. See Mongoose connections. Use Mongo client. Okay, let's try typing that in too. So we made progress. We're getting a new error, and it's possible because we're not up to date. Let's try that. Let's do a Control C. Let's do npm update. Maybe that'll couldn't hurt, right? So while we're doing this, we're learning. Okay, hopefully that updated. So now let's try the server again, see if we get the same error. Open is deprecated in Mongoose 4.11. Is that the current version? Let's find, where is it calling open? That's what I really want to know. Node 4960. So we can find that. Thought I had those turned off so they wouldn't come to this like at all. If I got a window open somewhere they're coming out of, I don't think so. So just turn it off temporarily. It's not open anywhere else. Okay. A little distracting to workflow. I try not to look at Facebook while I'm doing Pomodoros. So what we're trying to do, see, interrupt my train of thought. Fungal nuts. We're getting the new error. What was the new error? Open is deprecated, so okay, we want to find that node. Okay, we're gonna do a file open. File. Okay, we got to open. So we want to look. Gonna be in chapter 5. Up. I did the install, right? Did the update. Let's try, is my node itself out of date? The node modules. Let's try and get to those. So where's it calling that at? Let's get the error again, see if we can't track that down a little better. It's supposed to give us a line number, and I think that 4628 is the line number. Node 4628. I want to find where it's calling the open at. It's deprecated in Mongoose. Use open URI instead. Let's do a search on that. So what this is going to give us, it's probably a known issue. Probably give us a little more like the line number of the file location. 411, yep. This is on GitHub. Apparently it was fixed on June 26th. Okay, right here. The easiest fix for this node package module remove mongoose. Stack Overflow to the rescue again. Remove mongoose. If that works, we'll put a link to that in the show notes. Rollback failed optional. We'll find out here in a minute. Okay. We can keep following the thread, but everybody's +1 in that. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and bookmark this. More importantly, bookmark it under main, under Mongo. And also I want to grab this issue. We'll throw it in our in the notes that we've been working on. Part of the process. We still got 10 minutes to go, but looks like it's worth considering. They're saying that the latest release isn't the most stable release, and it's better to go back to like 4.10.8 as opposed to 4.11. By going just to cutting edge, we're getting an unstable release basically. So I think we're in episode 30 now. Yeah, we're all the way at the top. Let's go down at the bottom. Oh no, here we are, 31. So 30, chapter 5. Started with chapter 3 npm install, so that's when I was trying to reboot. So are we on 31? That was on 30. I'll sort it out later. For now, I'll post this little note in here. Actually, I'll put it on the bottom. Undo. Understanding mongoose schemas. Okay, get an old installation of mongoose. Save that. The second answer, it's near the top. Where do we have it highlighted? 10.4.8. 4.10.8, buddy. Let's go back to command prompt. Paste that command. This is the job, man. Just sitting on the computer in my room fixing bugs. And really, these won't be there in the long run. We're understanding as we go. Once we get a good template, all this will kind of be made for us. There'll just be certain stuff I'll have to change at the end. But to use the template effectively, we've got to understand everything that's going on under the hood. And sometimes under the hood gets bugs. So this is just good practice tracking them down, figure out how to, sometimes we'll have to do updates. A lot of times that's what I get paid for, is just figuring out the updates, you know. But technology changes fast. They try and give you a stable version for about a year and a half. That's what it says in the documentation. Let's try node server. Let's see if that'll run now. Added 28 new packages. There it is. We got 9 minutes left. Let's go ahead and look at that. Which one is that? That's chapter 5. So we should be able to do users now. Is that going to give us our users list? That was an empty array a while ago. I don't have any open yet. We're opening. It's kind of slow on this one, but we're opening the browser. I don't think I need that. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely don't want that one. That's the book. I'm trying not to change those. Do I have one of them open? Chapter 6. I don't think I need chapter 6 anymore. I think both of these are coming from the wrong spot. Chapter 5. Desktop chapter 5. I think that one's okay. Okay, so we got the server running. We'll do localhost 3000. That's one of the things we've been looking for, but we had that in the last chapter. What we're supposed to be getting to now is users. Still an empty array, but at least we got our servers running again. Which one is this? We're in. So should we do that same set of fixes on? We're in chapter 5. I think we just finish up reading chapter 5 and press our way into chapter 6. I don't think this is worth getting bogged down on any further. So we're 18 minutes. Yeah, let's go to the text. Let's just read through, see if we can get back on course. Sometimes if you press forward, it gives you enough info to work backwards a little bit. But that's what we were missing. Understanding schemas. So what we've been trying to do is load a user. I think we loaded a user into the Mongo. But using the Mongoose, we should be able to look and see a list of those users. And we never got that. But I don't think, are we actually putting users in, or are we just putting the schema in? Connecting to your Mongo database instance was the first step, but the real magic of the Mongoose module is its ability to define a document schema. As you already know, MongoDB uses collections to store multiple documents which aren't required to have the same structure as one another. However, when dealing with objects, it is sometimes necessary for documents to be similar. Mongoose uses a schema object to define the document list of properties, each with its own type and constraints, in order to enforce the document structure. After specifying a schema, you will go on to define a model constructor, which you'll use to create instances of MongoDB documents. In this section, you'll learn how to define a user schema and model, and how to use a model instance to create, retrieve, and update user documents. Creating the user schema and model. Create your first schema, go to app models folder, and create a new file named user server models. In this file, paste the following lines of code. Okay, so did we ever do that? Is any of this highlighted? Alright, let's check that and see where we're at. We'll get server, smaller window. Okay, we can take this back. We know it's running. Can't get user. So it's trying to it's getting something there. It's just looks like what it's getting is empty. It's getting an empty, that looks like an empty array to me, or an empty object. So I want to go into brackets. We got two different ones open. This one is chapter 5 on the desktop, and this one's chapter 5 on the desktop. Package server, Mongoose, and server. Let's look in this. Okay, what we're trying to open is user server model. JS. User server model. App models. Let's go up the app models folder. Create a new file named users server model JS. Let's open that. See if that matches up to what they're telling us to do. Constant mongoose, it's got a comment, require mongoose. Constant schema mongoose, no, constant schema equals mongoose schema. Constant user schema equals new schema. First name string, last name string, so this is a schema, email string, email, so that's different. Username, index true, password string. So this is a little more complicated. Mongoose, they may have us change this by the end of the chapter anyways. So mongoose model user schema. Or maybe it's just different. Password type string. So the structure is different. Website. Type string, password, website, user schema, role, type string, created, set the full name, virtual property, user schema, virtual full name, user schema statics, find one by username, user schema method, user schema set. There is mongoose model user schema. So all that's in here is over here, but they've added more stuff to it, and maybe they've added that as we read forward in chapter 5. So I'm going to skip adding this. We're at 23 minutes. Let's just keep reading a little bit. See, we're still so at the top of the page. Oh, okay. And there's more to go. We're not even, it's not even like the last page of the chapter. So we got all the rest of this page. We got extending your mongoose schema. We got defining your custom model methods. We got model validation. We got using mongoose middleware. We got using mongoose reference fields. So all that could be adding out to make this file thicker. And there's no telling how long each of these pages are. So, and then we got managing user authentication. Probably try and go. I hoped. So we got 2 more episodes. Oh, I forgot my quarter. So we got 2 more episodes today. And I doubt that'll be enough to get through what we got left, especially with these bugs we're running into. So we'll try and go through chapter 6 tomorrow. If we can get chapter 6 code to work, I won't stress out on little bugs we can't. I mean, we got it. We just can't get users list showing yet, but I bet by the time we go to chapter 6 code it will. And sometimes just playing these on loop, figure something out overnight, catch something I missed. And then we'll get into Angular, and then we'll be creating, this is what I really want to get to. If I can get here by the Friday on the playlist, which will probably be Labor Day. It'll probably actually be Monday by the time I get this far, if I'm lucky. But we got a good little opening right now. We're still not using HTTPS, so it won't be safe yet. The S is an extra layer of security. Adding real-time function testing. Be nice to add some real-time testing. Or, yeah, I don't know if testing in general. Automating and debugging. So we'll get there. We just got a lot of material left to cover. But there's only, what, there's 8. Let's minimize that. No, let's not go back. At least we didn't click any orange marks. Okay, There's 11 and an appendix. We may spend some time on the appendix, depending on where we're at. Might as well. 25 minutes. We're a minute over. Let's just glance at the appendix. Angular 2, Angular 2 new capabilities, Angular application, Angular augury, end-to-end test, module, and this is just the A's. There's a lot in here. Of course, Angular application, article, interface for Mocha test, chat Angular module, Chrome web store, debugging Angular applications with Angular augury, Chrome web store, okay, closures, connect to middleware, CRUD, operations, CRUD modules, CRUD, so much CRUD, single document deleting, I think we've covered most of that already. At least in theory. Getting to works is different. Still in the D's, dependency injection, end-to-end testing, ECMAScript 2015, EJS views, end-to-end test, ESLint, Express controller, introducing ESLint, reference, installing ESLint, configuring ESLint, event binding, introducing, installing Express, external middleware, using the HTTP client, Karma's dependencies, had a dog named Karma. I don't know if we've covered Karma in reference to main yet. You got some mean karma, boy. You earned some mean karma. Mocha test, model, modifiers, MongoDB. Same thing here, that's what we're on now. So we're on Mongoose, it'll be next. Mongoose, about installing user model registering. That's kind of what we've been stuck on, is registering our user model. So I might want to bookmark that or elaborate. Mongoose middleware, using the middleware, pre-middleware, post-middleware, Mongoose model. That might also be what we need to look at. Mongoose reference field, Mongoose schemas, understanding Mongoose schemas, user schema creating, extending, default values, virtual attributes, Morgan, MVC pattern, node. Alright, I just kind of wanted to glance through the index. 2 more episodes, we'll see what we can cover today. Just a lot of information to absorb. Need to do like a R2-D2 little bells and whistles. Transfers a lot of data. Okay. Osmosis, blip sharing. I'll stop the recording.